right. Hey, Kiana, great to be with you. Yeah, it's really been an interesting weather pattern, hasn't it? I mean, we've had all this cold weather across the country. We have had, the snow that we've had, and now we have another couple of rounds of wintry weather here in the upper Midwest. We're actually tracking two clipper systems over the next 24 to 48 hours coming in from the northwest. So these clippers, we call them clipper systems because they zip right on through in a northwesterly flow wind pattern. So it comes right through from the northwest, and that's going to bring us a chance for some snow on our Thursday morning here in parts of Wisconsin. Shouldn't be a huge deal, but enough to drop likely a dusting of snow in many areas, so it might slow down the morning commute a little bit there. But here's what's interesting. That snow moves out as we head into the afternoon, and we may hit the 30s in Milwaukee tomorrow afternoon. Why is that special? Well, it could be the warmest air we've had around here since mid-January, which is wild. Then round number two, well, that's going to come in late Thursday night into Friday morning, and that could bring some more snow, maybe even a mix at times as well. So we're not expecting a ton of snow out of it, but again, just enough to be kind of a nuisance here and there for folks driving around. So a couple of clipper systems coming on in, but it's interesting because unlike the last systems, which of course had all of this bitter cold air with it, this one much more on the mild side, Kiana. In fact, we have temperatures that will be right around 30 for a high temperature as we head into our Thursday afternoon. And again, that could be some of the warmest air we've had since mid-January.
And Tom, it's cold when you're talking about temperatures getting close to 30. It has been cold, not only for you there in Milwaukee, but even here across the Northeast and really a good chunk of the country. I know you're no stranger to bitter cold temperatures, right? But I think you might be surprised where we've seen, cities that have been warmer than Milwaukee today. You want to take a guess before I give you this surprise game?
Oh, boy. Okay. Cities that have been warmer than Milwaukee with the recent cold snap. I mean, I would even say maybe parts of Alaska for a time. Maybe.
All right. You're onto something. You're warm. We have Juneau, Alaska. That is one of the answers. I have another one for you. I think this is going to throw you off your rocker. Guess one more city.
Iceland?
What?
Reykjavik, Iceland?
Yes.
No, really?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
They didn't even tell me ahead of time. I did not cheat, I promise you. Oh, that's funny. Wow.
You got that one.
Wow, look at that.
Reykjavik is warmer than Milwaukee as of today. So, yeah, you do have a nice warm-up on the way. I know that we've been talking and joking about getting to 30 is like the end-all, be-all, but you get warmer than that. You guys have a nice warm-up heading into next week.
Yeah, we could see some 40s around here. Maybe not as warm as Reykjavik at 45. But, yeah, I mean, we are going to warm up a little bit by early next week. But, I mean, Kiana, isn't it wild? You talk about Florida, right? We were talking about the iguanas and all of that and just the cold air that settled into Florida. And it's amazing, really, in so many spots of the country, and I know we can all relate to this, where it just got so cold and then all of a sudden it warms up by, say, 10 degrees. And isn't it amazing how the body adjusts? Like today here in Milwaukee, it was 27, and we're like, oh, it's never felt so warm.
We were the same way here in New York City. I think I even left the home with my jacket like halfway zipped, not all the way up to my chin. So, we're living on a high here in New York City with these warmer temperatures, but we know where this all is sourced. And while you may get a nice warm up at some point, and it may not be as warm as Reykjavik, us here in New York City, we have some dangerous cold temperatures still ahead of us. We have to blame our friendly neighbor that just will not leave, the polar vortex.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the groundhog there for a minute.
Oh, I could blame him too. I could blame him too.
Yeah. We always like to blame the groundhog, right? No, you're correct, though. That polar vortex, and there is, Kiana, another shot of colder air heading into the Northeast. So there's that resurgent colder air that's going to be coming in, spinning on in from Canada. And so, yeah, that means another cold punch on the way here, and that's going to bring more cold air to the Northeast as we head into the weekend, and a little shot of snow here and there as well. So those gusty northwest winds we we talked about this northwesterly wind flow pattern, right? And that could even lead to a little bit of lake effect snow here and there in spots. And so, yeah, it's, the track continues, right? When it comes to this weather pattern where we're kind of back and forth, right? So we'll get cold, then you're going to warm up again a couple of days later. So it's kind of that roller coaster ride, right, of temperatures that we're expecting over the next several days.
Absolutely. Do you think this is the last little burst of air that we could get out of the Arctic North here? What's your thoughts on that? Do you think that will continue this into March?
You know what? I kind of do, to be honest with you. And so I think what's going to happen, we see a little bit of a pattern shift in the nation's midsection next week. So we're going to get a little bit warmer. Here in Milwaukee, could be around 40. Then, as we go into really the next couple of weeks, it's possible we start to see another growth of some colder air up in Canada that spills on down. So I do think we're going to be kind of back and forth, probably into March. And I know what's interesting around here in the upper Midwest is we often get some of our biggest snows in February and March. Now, I know as we look here at the temperature outlook that it is going up, right? The trends are going up through the middle part of the month that we're going to warm up, and that's very much the trends right now. But I think the longer term trend as we look towards, let's say, into parts of March, that, we may end up kind of back and forth. And just keep in mind, we always like to remind people it just takes one system, right? I mean, look at Nashville, right? The types of systems that come through, if we get one or two big systems for the rest of the winter season, they could be impactful. So, but as we get later in the season, what's so interesting, Kiana, is it's going to melt a lot quicker. It's not going to linger like the ones in January tend to linger.
Yeah, and I think that's the better half of seeing the end of winter kind of roll around, that it's more quicker, these bursts of cold air that kind of settle in. Before we let you go, we do have a fun little, an additional game to play here, or at least talk about. A rhino at Milwaukee County Zoo gave Punxsutawney Phil a run for its money. I know you probably saw this.
Yep.
It predicted an early spring.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on this? Is Phil correct, or is your hometown rhino correct?
We like the rhino better than the groundhog around here because the rhino's predicting an early spring, right? Yeah, no, we love this at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Yeah, it's kind of our take on the groundhog, right? And so, you know what? I'm a fan. Bring me the early spring. But I know this was great the other day. So, of course, the groundhog predicted 6 more weeks of winter. The rhino's predicting an early spring. So I'm going to go with the rhino. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, though. What's your take, Kiana?
I'm going with the rhino, too. I'm about done with winter. You talked about Phil earlier, me not really liking him. He's not on my best side right now. So I'm going with the rhino there, too, hoping for early spring as well. Tom, it's always great.
I like the way you think.
Yes, it's always great to talk with you on Wachs Wednesday. Hopefully we see you again next Wednesday. I know that you got a couple of busy days on your hand. Can't wait to talk to you about those days.
Likewise. Well, thank you. Have a great night.